Welcome to another edition of the Gator Nation Football Podcast Film Breakdown. I'm your host, James DiVirgilio, and today I'll be looking at Florida's defense versus Missouri's offense. This game featured some really good plays and some really poor plays from Florida's defense, sort of like a barbell, not a lot in the middle. As always, if you like this content, you can support us by following us on social media, by dropping us a dono on Patreon, and by checking out the podcast each and every Monday, where we bring you in-depth analysis on the Florida Gators. This film's going to feature a lot. There's a lot of plays to look at in this one. The good news is, in a lot of ways, Florida put some of its best defensive plays on film in this game. And again, they also put some of their worst, but I'll walk you through each of the impactful plays starting now. First drive for Missouri. Let's start off with a really nice play here by Princely. He's going to come off the edge and read this little flat route here to the running back. He's going to get great separation off of the right tackle right here, win the battle, get ahead of him, right? Ruin the play from the start, then finish with a tackle. One of 13 tackles for loss for Florida in this game. Again, it was a barbell. There was some really good stuff and some really bad stuff, but there was more good stuff on this film than we've seen all season long to go along with the bad stuff. So there is progress in that regard, and this is a nice example of a nice play to start the game here by Princely. Third down and 9 for Missouri. After some pre-snap motion, you're going to get an in route here. Then you're going to get another just short intermediate route here right in front of Jaden Hill. Let's focus on Jaden Hill. He's going to pick off a similar route. Of course, later in this game, he's going to open to the outside, which is perfect. He has safety help here in the middle. And then he's going to wind up maintaining, right, his positioning here. He's not going to backpedal too far, which is important. And then he needs to explode down on the route, which he does right here. He sees this route is short. Explode down and make the tackle. If he gets a clean tackle here, if he makes a clean tackle here, this is not a first down. Instead, we're here, gets spun around, stays up, gets the spot, gets the first. This is 3rd and 9. This winds up being a conversion for Missouri. Early in the game, this is not a huge issue to give up. Obviously, if you're Jaden Hill here and you're watching film on yourself, the only place he goes wrong is he doesn't really need to back up just yet. Knowing it's 3rd and 9, knowing he has safety help here, as this trade, he needed safety help here, rather, over the top, he doesn't have to worry about backpedaling even at all yet. In fact, he can stay flat in his stance as he is. He doesn't need to move just yet. And if he likes what he sees in an early breaking route, he can rally earlier. And that's, in fact, exactly what happens. Had he not taken that one step back, he would have been right here instead. He comes down, he makes this tackle. If he's playing even more aggressive, which you'll do as the game goes on, you get a better feel for what Missouri wants to do, then you might even be here. But regardless, this is good technique by Jaden. He's just 1 yard off his mark, and even then, a nice tackle here to the inside makes a stop. Missouri squeaks out a first down here. So this is one of the 3rd downs that Missouri gets, that if you're looking on film and you're obviously a defensive coach, no big deal here. You can just clean up that technique, start a tiny bit, or make the tackle there, and you're good. You're getting off the field. That's going to be, again, something you'll live with here on film. Obviously, Jaden Hill had a great day, and you can kind of see early on here with no knee brace, right? No knee brace. That's a big deal. He had a knee brace last week. We talked about it on film review. He took it off. He mentioned after the game he was supposed to put the knee brace, but felt like he needed to play without it so he could just play well and feel like he was healthy. And of course, that was true. So one more time in real time, if he doesn't back up here, he can take a step to the outside. But if he doesn't back up here and he maintains this line, he's going to make a play on this instead of being here, right? So basically stay here. As soon as this route goes a little bit further, this is the 3 yard mark. This is where most of these quick game routes are going to happen. If he gets to here, then you can take a back pedal and you're still on top of the route. He can't run by you. You're still good. Either way, nice conversion by Missouri. Almost a stop there from Florida early on. 3rd and 3 for Missouri now. Same drive. You get a motion, orbit motion here across the back, and then we're going to do a scrape exchange. Cox is going to read this nicely. He's going to evade the H-back and then get into the mesh window here while we're going to bring Trey Dean down into the box. This is really nice defense here from Florida. Everything is accounted for, right? We're in great shape here. And Cox, of course, is going to do what he does. And early on in this game, shut down the read. And now Trey Dean is going to be here waiting in this window. And then Trey Dean is going to make this tackle on 3rd down and 3. So nice play from Trey Dean. Of course, Trey Dean often on these film reviews not doing the greatest stuff. Here it's a nice play from him early on to get off the field. And of course, you know you're going to get a classic Trey Dean celebration. But here, since they're getting off the field, that's just fine. This is the time to celebrate. 3rd down and 3, get a stop, knock them out of the field. Force a punt, let's go. Celebrate that up. So nice job by Florida's defense in the first drive. Florida struggled in their cover 3 or cover 6, if we want to get granular here with what's going to happen on this play. Coverage in this football game. One main reason is it seems that Jason Marshall is playing this softer than necessary. Now, if we're going to do a cover 3, you're going to split this in thirds. 1, 2, and 3. Marshall's responsible for this third. Torrance here. This is going to be Dean here. Cover 6 is very much the same thing, except you're going to do a quarter here, and then a half here. And the reason you're doing that is you obviously have a stack set here, 2 receivers, you have 1 tight end here. You're just going to play the more likely route combinations to your side. Regardless, the rules in the back end are going to stay the same. Let's walk through this play here slowly as it goes off screen. We get a play action. Now, once the play action is done, you want your linebackers to settle between 7 and 12 yards here, taking away, of course, any little flat route here, any curl route here, anything in this area. They need to take these windows away. And then you're going to get droppers here from Dean, who's going to recover into, a cover 3 or cover 6 technique. And then same thing here with Jaden Hill as he sees a block here, making sure nothing comes over the backside. This part over here is going to be okay. We're going to get here is we're going to get a hitch. We're going to get this hitch at the 30-yard line. So it's going to be a 20-yard hitch, not a 10 to 12-yard hitch, not a curl that can be taken away from your dropping linebackers under any reasonable circumstance. And Jason Marshall is going to be your cover 3 or cover 6, in this case, again, corner over here. He's just taking a quarter of the field. Again, look at this large. This is a 30-yard line. It's a 20-yard play. Even if your curl defenders are at the right depth where they're getting there a little bit late due to play action, there's no chance they can stop this pass. And Jason Marshall, who you see as a blur on your screen, is late to get to this. You can see Torrance now on your screen. He had a post route come here. He has to run with this post route through his portion of the zone. He can then turn around once it's passed off. This play, of course, is being run intentionally in between both of these zones by Missouri and deep enough so that is above the linebackers. This is a cover 6 or a cover 3 beater. All the same, the way that you help this, and Florida does not necessarily, at least I can't know for sure, but so far on film, Florida is not necessarily pattern matching as much as perhaps an Alabama team would do, but they certainly do it on certain occasions. But regardless, even in a static cover 3, this is a 2-man route. You had a 2-man route. You had a post and a curl. If I'm coaching Jason Marshall here, I don't want to have this much distance between him. The only route he's successfully defending is a go route. All other routes he's going to give up if they're between 15 and 25 yards, and I just don't like that personally. I do not know exactly what Tony is telling him, of course, in this situation. I don't know if Tony's telling Marshall, just stay on top, stay safe. If they hit this route, we'll give it to them. I cannot say that for sure on 1st down and 10. What I can say is, if it were up to me, I would much prefer that once this receiver cleared this intermediate zone, Marshall stays to the outside, which he should, stay to the outside. He sees this route get passed off. I would like him then to clamp down much more on this player while remaining topside and outside. So create a shade like this. Any route he runs, if he runs a skinny post late, then you're going to stay topside and outside. If he runs a hitch route, you're going to stay topside and outside so that you are closer to this ball. So if this ball is thrown, you can make a play on it rather than how much distance is here. That's just me. Again, a lot of film review here. I have to take some opinions. I have to make a guess at what's going on. But when I see something like this, I think Missouri saw something on film where they wanted to run this against a cover 3 or a cover 6. They knew this depth would work. They knew it was a beater in between 2 zones, and they knew that Jason Marshall seemingly is playing this softer than he otherwise should. Florida's been running a lot of scrape exchanges this season, but they really got it right this time. We already showed you one with Cox and Dean earlier, and here comes another one with Bernie. Let's watch the action here. Scrape exchange. We're going to be aggressive with Princely into the exchange here, and then Bernie is going to follow. So here comes the aggression early on. Let's force this out. We know the ball's not here, so we're good. He's going to take the quarterback. He's going to take the running back, just like we saw earlier with that scrape exchange. And that is absolute perfection here on the ball carrier. Again, really nice work. This is vast improvement for Florida. We've seen them doing this. They're starting to understand this concept much better, and it paid dividends early on in this game. 3rd and 18 for Missouri. This is the first quarter, so don't worry. You're going to see a plethora of 3rd and longs converted in the second half. But here, Florida's going to play good defense. We're going to drop 8. Keep everything underneath, keep our eyes on the quarterback in our zone. They're going to elect to run a screen play. These can be dangerous on 3rd and 18, especially if you get a numbers advantage, but everything has to be done right by the defense here to counter this. This is Perkins. He's going to stumble, but he is going to maintain outside leverage, forcing everything back into this part of the field. That's step 1. Check mark there. Even though he doesn't make the tackle, we're going to now force this into what we want. Here's the help defender. Right, we're squeezing down his area. We get off a block here by Torrance. Really nice job to get off a block from the tackle. And then a nice stick there by Ventrell Miller to finish the play. So 3rd and 18, not a lot of yards gained there. Another good stop by Florida early on. Some good, clean team defense. Each and every week we see this from Cox, and you're going to see it again here. Just an individual piece of brilliance. He's going to destroy the left tackle here. Just absolutely swim move, fake, get himself into the backfield, and then stick the running back, finish the play for another tackle for loss. That's just great stuff there from number 1, Brenton Cox. Having a great season for Florida, and the best thing is we saw early on this year that he had a lot of mental mistakes where he was trying to go hero mode. We're seeing far fewer of those every single game, and he is putting some really good stuff on film for Florida, a significant impact player on this defense. Of all the plays on this film review, this one brings me the most joy because of how well Florida is going to play this. Something that Florida has struggled with throughout the years on this very channel is something they're going to get right here, and it's just so good to see, especially with Jaden Hill back, a guy who had put a lot of good stuff on film before he was injured, did not put good stuff on film last week, had a heroic game this week. But let's look first at the job that Miller's going to do as Florida is playing cover 3 here, but we're going to play aggressive. This is 3rd and 6. We're playing a tendency here. We're not having Jaden Hill bail. We saw the similar play earlier. We saw a different action rather than this, right? We saw this action, but a similar concept, similar idea, trying to hit this soft zone underneath here. First thing we're going to do well is Miller is going to buzz out here to the flat. He's going to redirect this receiver, knowing the in route is likely what they like to hit. Also, what you want to do in general, get hands on the receiver within 5 yards. Bingo, pass him off. Not only does Ventrell pass him off before coming down on the running back, he actually takes him out of the route entirely, as you will see. Meanwhile, Jaden Hill, let's watch Jaden Hill. He's going to only backpedal maybe a tiny little step. We saw him earlier. He took that extra step. Here, a tiny little step. He's trusting his read in this game. Eyes are on both the receiver and the quarterback. He sees the receiver looking. Now he's thinking this could be his moment. Again, he saw this play on film a bunch. Missouri loves these little short inside breaking routes, and then he's going to come down on this ball. Look, he's already coming down. As his arm is winding up, Jaden's momentum is coming down towards the football. Trust his read. Ventrell knocks the receiver out. Receiver's not even ready to catch this football yet, right? He turns his head right now and says, oh, what's going on here? This is everything that you want. Contact on the quarterback by Cox. Take this play away, right? This is what good defense looks like, and this is what a pick six looks like when you jump it perfectly. No one has any chance of stopping you. Easy walk-in touchdown for Jaden Hill. Welcome back in week 2 here, Jaden, to the Gators. What a great play, what a great read, and a great play by Ventrell Miller. That's just a great team defensive play all the way around, way to execute the concept and get rewarded with a significant 7 points in a game, of course, that Florida would only win by 7. So an excellent start from the defense here in the first quarter. 3rd and 3 from Missouri now, start of the second quarter. Let's watch Shamar James, the freshman linebacker for Florida. You want to see these young guys get better in their responsibilities here. You got Big Dez sliding over into his gap. We're going to try to cover all of our gaps and then get a linebacker in the gap early, something Florida has struggled to do. Get a linebacker in the gap early, and here is Shamar entering into the gap. Good gap control here by the defensive line. Nice push, forcing the run this way, right? Florida's got this gap covered, though, too, as well. Florida in good shape here for this 3rd and 3 play. All we have to do is make a tackle, and Shamar James meets this play right here for a very short gain, forcing a Missouri punt. So really, really nice job here by Shamar, and another nice stop from Florida's defense early in this football game. 2nd and 10 from Missouri. Missouri's going to hit a big play on Florida here. Dexter is going to get blown out of the hole on this play. We're going to get a guard H-back counter here. Something, of course, we've seen Florida be susceptible before in the past. Guard tackle, guard H-back, etc. This time Cox comes down correctly, engages the first kick-out block as soon as you can. Try to engage that and do not allow a kick-out, which he does a nice job of, right? He actually seals this play to the inside. Unfortunately, Dexter is already gone. You can't see him. He gets eviscerated out of his gap on this play. Right there, he's going to get double teamed. That is, of course, part of the plan, but he doesn't hold up at all, which creates this window, even though Cox does a nice job. Now, at this point, we got to deal with the lead blocker, which are going to get soaked up here. Here comes the lead blocker. We're down here. Now, Ventrell Miller's got to get off his block. Trevez, of course, could be more aggressive in reading where this play is going, but really, you'd like to see Trevez get there right about now to minimize this damage. He's not there. He's slow to come across this. Here's the handoff. If he reads this better, he's here. He's not going to get here. Dexter out of the gap. Ventrell blocked away. We got Scooby blocked away over there. And now we're in chase mode. There's a missed tackle by Trevez. Now we've got Kamari. He's chasing. And then Helm is going to do a nice job here. Helm has to stay to the outside. He has to stay to the outside so we can at least give his team a chance to stop this. And he does that. So check mark here to Helm. This is going to ultimately keep Missouri almost out of the end zone, but regardless, keeps them out of the end zone for right now, right? And a nice play and a nice stop. Live to fight another day on defense by Helm. So you have a nice play there by Missouri. Florida had a good start to that play, but Dexter gets blown out of his gap. That's all it takes. We can't get off a block. Trevez can't get there in time to make the tackle. And a play that maybe should be 6-7 yards if things go well becomes a big, big gain when things aren't played perfectly well. But again, nice job here by Helm. Minimize the damage at the end. Don't allow a score. Live to fight another day on defense. All right, 3rd and 3 from Florida. This is not what you want to see on film. It's 3rd down and 3. So here's your first down line. 3rd down and 3. Look at how soft Florida's coverage is here, guarding this 2 receiver set. And then let's watch the start even. They're both backing up 2 yards. It's 3rd down and 3. Can't tell you exactly what's going on here or why this is the technique that they are preferring. Now, I can tell you for sure they have to stay on levels. And what I mean by levels is you don't want to get picked, right? So you don't want to be too far underneath this or right next to each other where you pick each other. But you also can't be so far off the ball as they are here that you cannot make a play. So Trevez is on a level where he can get free of this screen. But also it doesn't really matter because this is open and he can't cover it, which is exactly what happens. So both defenders here are too far off. This throw is here and this throw is here. Something that needs to be cleaned up here on 3rd down and 3 in the red zone. You have to have better awareness of where you are and what kind of depth you need to have here to stop this play. This is not 3rd down and goal, which is what it looks like they're playing here. It looks like they're playing this as 3rd down and goal. That is not 3rd down and goal. So Florida gives up a very easy conversion with too soft of technique there. When you watch Florida's defense on film, what happens a lot is one defensive lineman will have a really nice play on almost every play, but then Florida oftentimes just can't capitalize elsewhere. On this play, Jalen Lee is going to get excellent A-gap penetration here, and really he's going to stop this play. This is an inside run, and there he is, right? Watch him. Great explosion, fights off his block. He is in the gap they want to run in. This play is now technically done. However, we get some really good one-on-one blocks here on the edge, right? Cox is rushing. He's going to hold up. He thinks the play is going to the interior. He's trying to come back and work across this formation, which in reality, he's never going to get there, right? And then on top of that, get a really nice one-on-one block here on McClellan. And so they both go to where the play is supposed to go, but now we get a bounce to the outside. We've lost edge control here with Cox. And then you're trying to get free. If you're Dean, you're blocked here by an offensive lineman. You're getting pushed backwards. You try to get free. You can't get there. Then lastly, you have Kimber, who recognizes it's happening, but it's too late, and they score a touchdown on 1st and goal. So obviously on the goal line, things are difficult, but Florida actually gets everything you dream up here, which is with a great A-gap penetration to stop this inside zone run, and unfortunately cannot finish the play, which leads to a Missouri touchdown. After Florida's fumble from Anthony Richardson, now Missouri driving. And again, in the first quarter and a half of this game, was dominated by Florida, and now Missouri is about to tie this game up 10-10. But on this particular play, Florida's going to get another huge win here. Cox is going to come in and just straight up ruin this play. Unfortunately, he misses a tackle, but if this is the case, typically here, the rest of your defense should be able to rally and help out. Dexter going one-on-one is going to get a big win here to the interior as well, and then he is going to get held. Absolutely held, which is going to make a difference. Outside of that here, Ventrell Miller is going to engage this block. He's waiting to see where the play is going to go. Then you're going to have Bernie coming in here. And then you're finally going to have, of course, Trey Dean coming in there. And there's Trey Dean. So this play is excellent. This has got to be a stop on 2nd and 4. It's everything you want. Trey Dean is your unblocked, strong safety. Should be the best tackler on your football team. Going to come flying in here on the quarterback for Missouri, who is elusive, who runs well. And he's going to take this fake right here and let him go to the outside. So obviously something that's always going to be on film studies is you want to be playing the outside shoulder of the quarterback so that your help defense can come tackle him. You don't want to let him go to the outside. You want to force him to go this way. If you're going to miss, he doesn't. He misses to the inside. That allows an outside run. Then Miller gets him, but not before he picks up a first down. 3rd and goal now for Missouri, and something that is season and previous seasons is the defensive line not working as a unit on 3rd downs or any down in reality when you do not have a linebacker that potentially is staying in the area here either to spy or to watch a running back or just to be in this vicinity. Florida's going to drop back here. We're going to cover with 7. It's 3rd and goal. We know that Missouri doesn't want to wind up short as they do not have any timeouts left. And we're going to send 4. So what's been happening in the past is Florida will lose, especially with their defensive tackles, they'll lose their sort of control of these gaps, right? And you do not want to let the quarterback go straight up the middle here to pick up these first downs, but they'll over pursue on their own trying to get a sack. But instead, Dexter here showing tremendous growth. And this is what you want to see. Drive him back as a D tackle, drive back, drive back, drive back, drive back. Keep separation here and watch the quarterback. Get your hands up if it's coming to your throw window. But ideally, you're not trying to make a sack here. What you are trying to do is this. Be able to push off. So if he tries to escape, you can make a tackle, and there it is. And look, if he doesn't make this tackle, this is almost certainly going to be a touchdown. Well, I shouldn't say almost certainly. You've got one-on-one right here with Trey Dean. Maybe it's not. But either way, this is going to be a free release. This is going to be a race to the end zone. This is going to be dicey. But instead, Dexter patiently does his job, waits for this, and is rewarded with a tackle for loss. A huge stop. Then Florida would wind up calling a timeout, which one can only hope was because they didn't have their special teams lined up correctly or their safe defense for an expected field goal if Missouri got stopped with no timeouts. We discussed this on the podcast. Either way, Florida does wind up calling timeout, then icing the kicker and still allowing the kicker to kick, which is a personal pet peeve of mine. But regardless, nice stop here and nice growth from Florida's defense on a play that they had been unable to successfully execute this season. They finally get one against a running quarterback, stopping him trying to escape the pocket when they are dropping 7 or 8. So nice play there by Dexter. All right, gap control is something that Florida has obviously continued to struggle with. It's not easy for any defense, but Florida with a young defense and a lot of different linebackers and different faces in there has struggled at times. Florida's going to recognize really nicely. This is great play recognition here from both Shamar and Ventrell Miller. Florida has the perfect defensive play call here. The perfect defensive play call here, right, for this gap or this power run here. As you're going to see a unbalanced line here, but you're going to see, sorry, not unbalanced line, you're going to see tight end here, and then you're going to see the old GT counter, right, a play that Louisiana we put on film running all over us in previous years. Here comes the GT counter. Florida's ready for this play. In fact, they're blowing this play up. We have one major problem. One is that Princely's coming in hot here, and this is a GT counter. Once he recognizes this, he should know this play is trying to go to this gap. He should not over pursue in here. He does not need to get to the quarterback. He over pursues and loses this gap. But also we have Ventrell right here and Shamar James enter into the same gap together. Again, they both read this is a gap counter run. They know this is going to follow the lead blocker right here, but because they both go to the same place, they both get themselves blocked into the same window, right? So we could have Princely holding his gap a little better, but more importantly here, this should be a linebacker. Either Shamar or Ventrell should have stayed on this gap, right? You want to cover all the gaps, use yourself as a wall, don't be in the same part of the wall. Right there, you see it happen. And this would have been a stop for no gain, and instead it turns into a first down for Missouri. So better stuff on film on that. Florida had a really good play call on there. They recognized early on to the linebacking core that was a gap run. It was a counter run. They were there for it, and then unfortunately just got a little overzealous and lost their gap. But that is progress in play recognition, quickness to get down to the line of scrimmage, and then obviously just an error on holding their gap. But still, again, progress against a power play that killed Florida in previous years. 3rd and 8 for Missouri, and quite surprisingly, Missouri is going to try to run the same thing that they have run before. We've seen this play. They ran it for a first down earlier, and here it comes, the same exact play. This time we're going to get Ventrell Miller again chucking him. The same look we saw before, Jaden Hill creeping down thinking, is he going to give me another pick six? And here he comes, right? If this ball is thrown, this is going to be another pick six. He winds up and he wants to throw it. He wants to give Jaden another pick six. Can you imagine having 2 pick sixes in one game? Well, right now, Jaden Hill's thinking, this is my day. I'm going to get one. He would have gotten one, except he thinks better of it and recognizes there's no chance. Why am I even trying to throw this football? Now I want to escape. Good pressure here by Summerall, 99 coming through. We're going to force him from the pocket. Now he's got to take this throw, this little check down here. And now we have an outside tackle attempt by Trevez. Perfect. Take out the outside because you have help on the inside. Stick him, put him down. Nice play, Trevez. Nice play by Florida, getting off the field on 3rd down. Almost having a pick six, forcing Missouri into something they didn't want. Again, nice stuff on film here as a unit on both sides of the ball, including pass rush from the D-line. 1st and 10 for Missouri after a Florida drive and touchdown, and a guy we have certainly not highlighted enough on this film review for the excellent game he had is Ventrell Miller. Really grown into his own this year. He is, of course, Florida's best linebacker, without a doubt. But in general, his game has really improved, especially I think when it comes to his pass defense. He's always been a good run defender, but his pass defense has improved. But here, really nice job getting off of his block, right? We've got a zone run here coming out to the right, and let's watch him get off the block. He reads it perfectly. Engage first. Nice gap control by Florida's defense here, getting head up into this zone window. Really nice play here, right? Jalen Lee, nice job. He's falling down, but he's really taking away the gap they wanted. Ventrell's now going to fight off, make a stick, and put him right down. That's the kind of stuff you want to see. So nice gap control by the D-line. Nice get off there by Ventrell Miller, and nice finish. It's 2nd and 8 now for Missouri. You got Jason Marshall down here. You have Trey Dean here. Florida's going to run what looks to be a cover 6. Again, cover 6, cover 3, very much the same thing. Slight nuance on the back end. Quarter here, half the field here for Jason Marshall. Jason Marshall's going to be covering half the field here. Not that different in, theory, of course, with how you're going to play these things. Just the zone skews are slightly different. But what happens here, Jason Marshall's going to bail. Again, we're going to see a lot of bail from Jason Marshall. Trey Dean is going to effectively cover no one. There's a route that's going to be wide open here in the middle. There's also going to be a route over here. So here you go. Summerall has to cover the flat route. He does his job. Flat route's taken away. Now, Trey Dean, on this hand, is certainly 2-on-1. This is a curl route, right? This is the curl route. This is a flat curl here. He's got to cover flat curl. He can't cover both of them. Can't cover both in this situation. Ventrell's sliding over with the linebacker. This is just not going to be a good scenario for Florida, is essentially the case, right? We have a call here that's not working. However, you would like to have your strong safety reading, which he's supposed to be doing, the quarterback's eyes here, and at least helping take away something. Now, this is not his zone, so I'm not going to blame this on Trey Dean because, in my opinion, it's not Trey Dean's fault. But it all depends on how Florida wants to play this style of coverage. Again, I can't tell you. What I can tell you is this is a huge buffer here from Jason Marshall, right? Now, curl flat responsibilities. Let's go through zone responsibilities here. Pre-snap, zone responsibilities. We're going to drop Summerall into the window here. That's 1. Bernie, we're bringing 4, right? So we're bringing 4. We're doing a creeper. We're changing responsibilities here. So Bernie now becomes a defensive lineman. We drop him now into coverage, which means Ventrell has to drop into zone here. This is going to be a zone here, right? And we're zoning this off accordingly. There's your zone. These are your 4 underneath defenders like this. So Theoretically, this is your curl flat defender. He's going to be in this area here. He's going to guard anything between, let's say, 7 and 12 yards, which is where this curl is going to be here. However, he has to guard this flat route. He should give this up. So you want to basically just give up. The first 5 yards of this are going to be free. If you're going to play cover 3, cover 6, whatever, you're going to give this up and you're going to take the deeper man. So let's start with that. That's option 1, is you got to give something up. They've got a beater on now because they know that you're playing this, and this coverage beater right here is going to be a curl flat route. Nice and easy, classic cover 3 beater. Very simple, open up, make your read. If he chooses to take the curl route away, take the flat route. That's the more ideal situation. Summerall being a D lineman, getting excited, I got flats, going to come over here and take this one away. All right, fine, that's fine. Secondarily, we are now going to give this throw up because Marshall is giving up this much space. This is what I want to talk about. There's different ways to handle this. Again, as I said before, I cannot know how Florida's defense wants to handle this. If we pattern match this instead, then Marshall can watch the release of this receiver. He can watch the release of this receiver, as can Summerall, and he could say immediately, hey, you're going to take the flat. You take anything that breaks short into the outside, and then you lock onto that. If that's the case, I will then lock into this, knowing I have help on the inside. I will stay on the outside, funneling things to the inside, and if I see this hitch route, I will make sure I stay on top of it and to the outside of it, right? That's not what Florida elects to do here. Instead, we give a big cushion. It's an easy conversion on 2nd and 8. And we wind up giving up a first down. So there's a lot of stuff I threw at you there because, again, I don't know. Unless Patrick Toney calls me and tells me how Florida wants to run this, I do not know. But those are your 2 main options. We either have to have Summerall here. We're in trouble. They have the right play call on. Choose to take the curl. We're going to keep Marshall very safe over the top. We're just going to give this play up every single time right here. That's one way to do it. Or you go with a pattern match, where you're going to lock onto here. Marshall's able to see this. He's then going to be aggressive here, staying on the outside and on the top, forcing everything into the middle. And then obviously in this case, Trey Dean would notice he has a receiver entering into his zone window here. Cover, 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 right? Instead, Florida elects not to do that. If Florida elects to play one more time, a static cover 3, if you will, he can elect to take the curl here, which is what he should do, work the deeper receiver first. Marshall would stay on top. You'd have 2 defenders covering him, essentially high-lowing, and you'd take this ball out into the flat, rally down, make a tackle. Those are your 2 choices. I can't tell you which one it wants to be based upon how Florida's playing defense. I don't know for sure. It doesn't seem like Florida's doing a lot of pattern matching. You don't see a lot of hand signals or pass-offs, so it's more likely in this case that they want Marshall to be high and soft, perhaps not as soft as he is. He feels like he's too soft to me, especially if you watch how Jaden Hill is playing this on the other side at the same time in many occasions where he is going to break down and get there. Marshall's nowhere near it. So even if it's going to be static, even if Summerall's supposed to take this play here, if I am coaching this, this is just too soft. There's too much space here for Marshall. We have no threats. He can see the entire field. I don't want to see this much space from him here. We don't need to be that safe. Missouri's not a team that goes to the top very often. In general, I would like to have seen Florida be more aggressive with that. There are multiple ways to do it. This is an example, obviously, of something that didn't work, and Missouri had a lot of success in the second half, taking advantage of Florida's coverages. All right, 3rd and 5 now from Florida. Florida going to line up in a defense here that's sound. Actually, I like it. We're going to play aggressive. We're going to play cover 1 man. I like this here. We want to make sure we're aggressive. Bernie's got a good stick here. We've got Jaden Hill up top. He's going to get a nice contact here, and then we have Trevez. Look at the space we're giving up. We've seen this on film from Trevez multiple times throughout his career. He has to stay to the outside, so I like this, Trevez. This is good. You're keeping him to the outside. Keeping him to the inside, where you have a safety who's here to help you. Right? Not there, but somewhere over there. That's good. Outside technique's good, but you need to be here. You're too far away. It's 3rd down and 5, right? If you're going to start off, you can start off here. You know your responsibility is him. You can start off, but you don't want to backpedal too far. Again, you want to see if this route breaks early. If it's a quick game route, you want to be on it. This is too much distance. You cannot come down on this. There it is. Easy throw, too much space. Safety comes down. Easy completion, easy first down. On 3rd down and 5 there, it's too much space given, too much cushion. Nice work to stay outside with your leverage. However, everything else has got to be tighter. We saw a highlight earlier where Dexter did a nice job on a 3rd down situation. where Missouri was unable to run the football. And now we're going to see where Florida does not do a great job. So Miller is locked up on the running back. It's on his side. Now we're playing zone, right? Across the board here, we're matching up on 3rd down and 8. We're going to send just 4. Miller's not rushing. He's got the running back. We're going to send just 4, except we lose gap responsibility and gap control here, right? Again, if you're D-line for Florida, you got to understand in these situations that if you're a tackle especially, I know you want a sack. I know a sack's the highlight, but in reality, you want to get off the field. That's the bigger highlight. And you don't need to be executing late spin moves in these situations, turning your head to the quarterback, and then essentially losing your gap, right? Instead, if Sapp elects to rush here and just stay in his gap, stay true to his gap, drive right here, drive the gap here, drive the gap here. Don't drive yourself over there. Drive the gap here. Of course, he recognizes this now. He knows he has to get back to his gap. He spins. He tries to get back, but he can't get there. If he just stays sound, Florida's got this covered on the back end. This play is dead. Right here, it's dead. He gets a tackle for loss or he gets a minimal gain. We're off the field. Instead, he wants the sack and gives up a nice, easy 10 yards. All right, so Florida's defensive line has got to get better. We saw an improvement earlier. We saw the fail here. Got to get better as working as a unit when they know there's no one there behind them to help. It's something they continue to put on film. Mobile quarterbacks know this is available to them. Of course, Florida will face LSU this weekend with a quarterback who's a very good runner, and you better believe he'll see the same thing on film all week long. As Florida has got to be more disciplined when they're dropping 7 or dropping 8 and maintaining their rush lanes and not, especially in that D tackle position, going so hot after the quarterback, right? Stop being so hungry for sacks and be content to get a stop. Speaking of hunger, Jaden Hill, he had 1 pick, almost had a second one that Missouri didn't throw, so now he definitely needs his second one. He's feeling it. Again, look at Ventrell Miller. This is just such good stuff from him. Reroute into the flat right here. Reroute into the flat. Jaden Hill staying flat, not afraid of getting beat over the top, knows Missouri likes these intermediate and short routes here on 3rd and 6. We've watched them do this time and time again. Stay to the inside, right? He's ready for this route, and then run the route for him. Make contact off your screen, run the route for him, interception. Now, again, if you're playing quarterback here, if we're grading Missouri's quarterback here, you're going to open up. First of all, you're not going to look here first. You're just going to open up and stare at your receiver. Okay, don't do that. That's not good, right? That's not good. And then definitely, Jaden Hill's already got you once. What's going to get you twice? What do you think you see here? I don't know. This is a force if you've ever seen one. That's a super force. Great pick, though, by Jaden. Great defense by Jaden. Great understanding of what your opposing team wants to do. That's how you run the route for him. That's how you get your second pick. Again, almost had a third in this game. Really good stuff on film from Jaden Hill. Something, of course, the rest of Florida's corners can hopefully learn from. And how you take a chance, how you make a read, how you trust what you're seeing with your eyes. Come downhill and make a play. So we've seen a lot of good stuff on this film review from Florida. Of course, some bad stuff, but a lot of good stuff. And here's some more good stuff. It's in the 4th quarter now. It was a hot day in the swamp. Florida on offense and defense separating from Missouri, starting to exert their will. This is a drive where Florida would have gotten a stop. I think this game would have finished 31-10, 34-10, something like that. As it stands, pressure from Cox, pressure from Dexter, pressure from Princely. We've got him sacked here. We're a little overzealous. We're going to miss. However, look, we still got Big Dez coming, and there's Ventrell getting off a block. I mean, that's what you want to see. Great tackle from Ventrell Miller. That's great defense. We've got 4 of the 5 guys there putting pressure on the quarterback. Should have been a sack. Unfortunate it wasn't, but on first down, we start off very, very nicely with a tackle for loss right out of the gate. Or, let's call it line of scrimmage. Either way, really, really nice start there from Florida's defense. Things look good. All right, 2nd and 9 for Missouri. I can't tell you who to assign responsibility here, but we didn't see as much of this on film from Florida, which is good, but you're getting a 2x2 set here. And on one side, we're going to do a nice job. That's this side. Go here, bubble in, right? Go to the outside, funnel here with a little triangle. Nice work. And over here, our triangle is going to fall apart because we're only going to have actually one part of this triangle as there goes Helm. Here's Trey Dean. We're sending Bernie in, which maybe he was supposed to win. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe they just caught us in a bad play here, which is also possible. And then Dean is going to just kind of hang out here and watch the quarterback. Despite the fact that he has Helm over top covering the other route, he should easily be buzzing here into this flat area. If, again, that's his responsibility, I don't know. Then he'll come here and, play tag for a while before finally putting him down after the easiest 22-yard gain or so that you can get. So that's the kind of stuff we don't want to see on defense. Again, we didn't see a ton of this, which is nice, but we're seeing it here at a very crucial part of the game. and a big first down pickup for Missouri. The very next play is going to feature some dominance here from Florida Zeeland. Look at Big Dez. Look at Big Dez. In the fourth quarter, in the hot Florida weather, boom, get in here and force this play to the outside. I mean, come on, Dez. Let's go. That's great. It's great work by a D tackle. Now we got Ventrell Miller. We're outside. Ventrell Miller, and we're outside here with Princely. This is perfect job, and this is what you want to see right here. Great job, Princely and Ventrell. Tackle for loss. Great flow. Great defense. Great work, Big Dez. Nice to see this stuff happening. 2nd and 11. Florida's not brought a ton of pressure this season under Tony, but here we're going to bring the pressure. We're going to send 6. Going to send 6 here and play man behind it, and we are going to get home. Good rush by Bernie. Great rush by Cox. Look at Dexter pushing in the backfield here, right? We're pretty much getting everyone home here. Here's Ventrell blowing somebody up, coming in to finish off the tackle and sack by Cox. I mean, this is just what you want to see. If you're going to bring pressure, you want to see a whole lot of bodies in the backfield, and that's what you're seeing here from Florida. Of course, Cox winning one-on-one, doing what he does. Ventrell blowing up the running back here in the hole. Whoop, lost you there, sorry. Blowing up the running back here in the hole. Wait for it. There it is. Blowing up the running back in the hole. Boom. Pushing it back into the quarterback and laying on top just for a, hey, Cox, great play right there. Let me smack you on the helmet, bro. I didn't do anything. I'm just here for you. I blew up the running back, but that's what I'm talking about. That's nice. Nice aggression for Florida. Nice stop. All right. 2 great plays on 1st and 2nd down. This game looks like it's about to be over, right? 24-10. If you were in the stadium, you were thinking, we're about to knock them out, which is how I felt. And then this happened. 1st and 2nd down led to 3rd down, and 3rd down was not a fun time. Florida's going to elect to drop 7 and play zone. We stopped this basic exact play earlier. It was a screen route, but really similar concept here. Florida's going to take away any primary route that they want, getting some pressure here on the outside from Powell, right? Dexter coming up the middle, getting a hand up. This is all nice. This is all nice. We're forcing a check down here for 5 yards, right? No problem. This is my guy, Perkins. I love Perkins. He's my dude. He tends to make great tackles, tends to be a really solid player, especially if you can point him in the right direction, make sure he knows what the play is. And he tends to always break down on the outside, which we saw. Break down on the outside, take away the outside shoulder, force him this way. Right here, he's got that. Look at him. He's doing it. He's doing it. Great job, Perkins. I'm going to give you a check mark, and we're getting off the field, right? We're out of here. Except something happens where he chooses to take a step kind of in, which I don't know why he does that. I guess we'll have to ask him. He takes a step in. Come on, Perkins, you know better than this. And now he can't get him. And that's unfortunate as he turns the corner here. I can't grab him. But you know what? No big deal. It's 3rd and 22. I'm sure that we can get Trevez to come get him. Let's watch Trevez up here. Trevez sees Perkins is here. Trevez is like, oh man, Perkins has got him. Trevez is jogging. I want you to watch this. It's 3rd and 22. We're trying to put a team out of the game. Here's Trevez. Trevez here is jogging. That's a jog. He's jogging. He's not running hard. If he's running hard, he's already flying over this angle to make sure he can help. So again, Perkins makes a mistake. That's number 1. Number 2, we've got a jogging Trevez who now recognizes, Perkins, who generally does not miss a tackle, missed one. I got to get there, right? I got to get here so it's not a first down. Here we go down the sideline, right in front of Florida's bench, right in front of all the defenders, right in front of Cox, who's got his helmet on, thinking, here's Dez, all right? Right in front of Big Dez. He's like, come on, guys, please get this man. Don't make me go back out there. It's hot. And then here we go. Trevez is kind of getting the arm wheel going here, right? Let's get the arm signal going. Wham, I like this. I'm not even going to touch him. Trevez is not even going to touch him as the second defender there. On top of this, we have Torrance coming in as a sure tackler, and we're still not at the first down yet, right? Torrance elects to blow up the block here. I guess he thinks Trevez has this. He's going to blow up the block. Bam. Yeah, heck yeah. Get out of here, dude. Except now he can't make the tackle. He takes himself out of the tackle window, and now we're going to get more yards. And the first person to touch him is going to be Tradin way down the field. It's an absolute just plethora of errors on this play, right? So many errors. Rewinding it one more time in live time so we can all suffer together. Perkins, my guy, right here. He's got this. This is dead. We're celebrating. We're off the field. We're loving it. Inexplicable inside slip route, whatever. Trevez jogs because he trusts Perkins. Don't do that. I trust Perkins. Don't do it. Get your butt out there. Make a play, right? Let's dig out there and make a play. Torrance highlight filming somebody here on the sideline. Now he can't make a tackle. That goes for a big first down, really changing the complexion of the football game. You get to stop there. This game is pretty much over. Missouri packs it up. They're rolling home. We don't get to stop there, and now we're still playing football. All right, 3rd and 15. Florida's going to play an inverted cover 2 here at precisely the wrong time, thinking they're going to catch Missouri on an in-breaking route. Inverted cover 2 is going to come down here. This is Kimber playing the top of that cover 2, and they're going to call the perfect play for this, which is going to be an out route here and a post. The post is going to take post, right, and then an out route. The post is going to take Kimber over the top. He has to cover this. Again, it's cover 2. He's got to cover this route. And then this out route is going to leave Torrance sitting in the middle of the field, who's trying to cover this weak spot in the cover 2, unable to get to the out. This is the hole in that zone. They're attacking it by 2-on-1 in Kimber. Cox is almost here. He's tantalizingly close. This is a duck of a pass. Look how wobbly that pass is, right? And Kimber's like, please let me get it. I mean, he's right there. He's right there. And he just can't get it. And it winds up being a first down. So what could have been done differently here? Well, again, you're going to have 2 guys covering 1. 2 covering 1. 2 covering 1. 2 covering 1. But this is the hole in the zone, right? This is the hole in the zone here. This is just unfortunate in my opinion. This is what's available, and they barely complete it. It's a duck of a pass. This is just what happens sometimes, right? When you play an inverted cover 2 and they have the right route combination on. That's football. So nice conversion by Missouri. Frustrating scenario for Florida, 3rd and 15. Another conversion on a waffly, slow-thrown duck pass that I'm sure Kimber is still dreaming of to this day because he'd love to pick 6 that, but on the All-22, he actually makes a nice breakdown, and again, he's got to stay on top. So if you were watching that live wondering where the heck he was, that's where he was. So we go from just a few plays ago having Florida with a 3rd and 22 opportunity against Missouri to knock them out. A few missed tackles, lazy play leads to this scenario where now it's feeling like a football game. And in fact, they're going to use kind of one of Florida's tricks on him here. We're going to motion over. We're going to sell everything looking like pre-snap. Maybe we're going to come this way, but in reality, check out the zone blocking. We're definitely going to go this way, right? This is obvious. That's where we're going. And now Florida needs to get in front of these linemen. But take a look at what's happened here. We are not in front. They are in front of us, right? They are sealing this off, driving us out. Got a lead blocker out here. It's up to Scooby. Scooby's going to have to be the hero. We are in trouble. We are driven back as a defensive line. We are not in good shape here. Princely's going to try to get in and make this play happen. And yeah, he almost does. But we are just blown back. Dexter doubled. We're doubled here. Again, Scooby here is getting blocked as Sapp is getting blocked into him, and there's no one blocking him yet. This is a problem. He's a young guy. I'm not picking on him here. He's a freshman. He's going to have to keep learning, but he's getting blocked more and more, and he's actually blocked, and there's no one in that gap, and that's painful. So again, awareness here is if you see they are successfully running, right? They're running him to the sideline. They're running Sapp to the sideline. You don't want to get caught up in this wash either. Now, yes, you want to turn plays back to the inside, but you need to be staying to this gap as much as you possibly can here because, again, they're running him out this way. You know they're trying to clear something for this. If you see them running out this way, he'll learn this, right? He's a freshman. He buries himself to walk-in touchdown, and now we have a football game, 24-17. So Florida's put a lot of good stuff on film. This drive, there was a lot of good stuff on film too, and then some really bad stuff that you expect from a Florida team who's trying to transition to a team who follows the details, who plays hard on every snap, who gets stuff right. They're not there yet, and this drive showed that. All right, let's bring you another Cox highlight here, brought to you by the Gator Nation Football Podcast. He's working against the right tackle for Missouri, and just an inside move. I mean, this is just too easy, right? Right tackle clears depth, knows he's a speed rusher. Inside move, they want to run the ball at the quarterback. That's not going to happen. So let's go. Game on the line now, 24-17. 3 minutes left. Good stop on first down. 2nd and 12. Now it's Princely's turn. He saw Cox get after it last time. He's thinking, I went in on the action. I'm going to go to the outside and set him up with a spin move. It's obvious passing situation from Missouri. Whoop! I'm going to kill the left tackle with that spin move. I'm going to put the quarterback down. Let's go. Again, 1st and 2nd down. Defense looking dominant here. Let's see if we can get off the field. 3rd and 18, Florida's worst nightmare, right? Just Missouri's kind of intentionally losing yards on 1st and 2nd down to get in these favorable long situations where they can complete easy coverage beaters and passes. Let's see what Florida elects to do. We are going to drop back right here into a cover 3, and we are going to leave Torrance We're going to leave Dean playing aggressively anywhere near what you would consider to be the sticks or a first down. And now we're going to have our corners dropping back, taking anything vertical. Now, what should be happening here is you see Dean's eyes looking at this 3-receiver set. Obviously, on this side, we have a 3-on-1, feeling pretty good here. We want to make sure our eyes are looking at anything that's going to come across us to this side, all right? That's the job of these defenders dropping. That's what you see happening here. Eye windows here, so far so good. Everyone's eyes are in the right place, right? This looks fine. And then as the play develops, we're going to see that Trey Dean does what Trey Dean likes to do sometimes. We're going to start just looking at the quarterback. We are going to lose where these routes are. So we got a flat route here. Somewhere else going to take that away. That's nice. And now again, we have Marshall here, and we have 2 receivers who seem to be going vertical. Trey Dean disappears off your screen, but Trey Dean, I promise you, is still here looking at the quarterback. This is mostly unfortunate because what's happened here is you have gotten a combo route, right, of a skinny post and then an out route right here at the sticks. There's no chance that Jason Marshall can cover this. You're going to see him being off your screen. He should be off your screen. Here's your post. This is correct by Jason Marshall. He's got to stay with this skinny post. It's his job first. Dean needed to watch this. So if you're Dean, you're going to open up and you're going to watch this route, right? You're going to watch what happens with these routes. And as they keep going vertical, you are going to keep running with them, walling them off to the sideline so that if this ball is thrown, you can make a break on it. Instead, he's going to just hang out right here and watch the play. It's a spectator sport right now, unfortunately, and this is going to happen. So Summerall did his job. Dean hanging out here with Miller, watching the football game. It's a nice day in the swamp. Marshall staying over the top, and this is too easy, right? So Florida has a coverage on here that shouldn't be beat by this. This should not be beat by this. This has to be Dean going with this, and this is taken away. This is a nice play design, though, because it is going to 2-on-1 a safety. It's going to 2-on-1 a safety, and it gives a chance for an underneath defender to mess up, which in college is something you definitely want to do. So Missouri displayed this frequently in the second half, a nice understanding of how to 2-on-1 the dropper in this case, and they did it here. Again, Marshall's been at fault on some. He's not at fault here. This conversion is just too easy. And obviously, I say this on every film study, these studies do not exist to critique or blow people up or say they're not good or bad or whatever. They exist to show that we need to be improving. And clearly for a guy like Dean, there's a lot of plays each week where he could be better. And that's the point of this. He had some good plays in this game, but in general, he's got a lot of plays that are hard to explain. And again, perhaps Patrick Toney can call me and say, hey, actually on that play, did the right thing. We wanted him to guard this particular piece of grass. We thought there was going to be a route coming in here. We wanted to give this up. Then fine. But right now what it looks like, obviously, is an error by Florida's defense leading to a 3rd and 18 conversion where this game is now really a game yet again. Could have been different, but Florida cannot get off the field. All right, 3rd and 6. We're going to get an underrated and really important play here from Bernie. Florida's going to bring the rush all from this side. Based upon how these receivers were allocated, we're going to try to really put a lot of bodies in the face of this throw. That is going to work. The only problem is it's going to leave an escape route, as now we're here, of course, for the quarterback. But not to worry. We've got Bernie here. He's going to get his hands on this, make sure he reroutes him, get out of here. And now I'm going to shove off and come make a tackle on a very important 3rd and 6. I'm going to come downhill. Let's look at how this meets up here. He's going to come downhill. And right now, it looks like he's probably going to get a first down or at least get some yards. But he's instead going to make a cutback here. Big mistake. I bet he wishes he could just keep this going and take the yards. Make a cutback and go for more. And Bernie is going to breaks, boom, stick. Big tackle, 4th down and 2. Big tackle there as Missouri goes for more than probably they should have. Nice play from Bernie. It's a big play setting up a 4th down. All right, 4th down and 2, football game on the line here. What does Florida elect to come out and do? Florida's going to play man, cover 1 man, and they're going to play man with some levels. Now, look, I'm sure Missouri wishes more than anything they took advantage of this and just ran something like this, which in the NFL, you would almost certainly get an audible call here to attempt to hit this quickly in this area with this much cushion. Of course, you could worry about a lineman stepping in here, but you would almost certainly get a smoke call here to hit that. Right? Florida's going to give this up, and they're going to bet that this route is not going to be that, and that's going to be correct. But Florida's going to play this correctly when it comes to here. Again, this, I think, is opportunity for a better team to take advantage of you. We'll talk about that a different day. For now, though, what do you want to see? You don't want to see these defenders backing up. Don't back up. Why? Because it's 4th down and 2, right? Do not back up. Make a read. If this is going to be a quick game, you want to come downhill. Let's watch Trevez, a guy who's generally struggled in these situations. And no surprise here, Missouri had this play for him. This play is to beat Trevez, a guy they've seen on film who they feel like plays soft in these situations, is not necessarily a great cover guy. He's a better tackler and run stopper. He's going to open up just a little bit here. Just a bit, looking like he's going to open this way, but then he's going to see that this route is turning in, and he's going to explode forward. They're trying to run a rub route here, little rub underneath the slot receiver, into this window, right? That's the goal right now. The quarterback feels good about this. Look at what he sees. He can see Trevez is behind him. He can see the rub. He feels like he has this window, but Trevez comes flying through this gap, meeting the receiver in the impact zone right here, right where that ball wants to be thrown. There is now nothing there. Makes a nice play on the ball, right? Not a good ball at all by any means, but a nice play on the ball, and this is good stuff. We're locked up, and we're locked up, right? Really, really nice stuff here. Good job, Trevez. We're locked up here. Again, Jason Marshall caught a lot of flack on this breakdown. I think he's a much better man corner, much better man defender than he is in zone. I think zone is something he's going to have to learn and get better at. But for now, Trevez getting shot out of a cannon. This is such a welcome sight for Florida fans. You have to really appreciate what's happening here. This is different. This is different than what we've seen in the past from Florida's defenders. This is understanding quick game, understanding how to make this read, come down, get through, get off the rub, right? And come down here and make a play. And Florida does on 4th and 2. Nice coverage across the board there. Nice call by Tony. Great execution by Florida. They seal this game. So the highs and lows of this game were on display throughout this film review. One of the more interesting defensive breakdowns we've done in a while. It shows progress. It shows issues we still have. It shows some highlights and some lowlights. But hopefully it told you the story largely in totality of what this football game looked like on film. As always, it's been great being with you. I look forward to being with you next week when I break down Florida's defense and offense versus LSU. Enjoy the weekend, enjoy the game, enjoy the week, and I will see you next time.